So this is probably one of the most packed summers of all time, especially if you're a JRPG fan, as there's numerous games coming out that should fill your Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, PlayStation, PC with tons of hours of incredible exploration and combat. But one game that I really wanted to focus on for this video, in addition to getting into a bunch of other content, is The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. There's some different details that I didn't go over, but I wanted to talk about this game, some of the highs and some of the things that I'm not so happy about. But I'm telling you, I think this game is going to be a really good rated game and something that people are going to be excited about when it drops on the Nintendo Switch 2 and other platforms on June 18th. So I want to discuss it a little bit more with some details and of course my thoughts. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. So publisher and developer Square Enix, in addition to developer Clay Techworks, have released some information and screenshots of HD 2D action RPG, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales. It introduces the Age of Reconstruction, as well as accessories, quests, shrines, life bonus drops, all sorts of stuff, even cat collecting in this game. Now, this is a bit of older information, but once again, I never went over it. The game is getting very close to release. I was thinking that I wasn't going to cover it too much before we kind of just delved into it myself, but at the same time, I wanted to cover this stuff here because I thought it was pretty cool the more that I looked at it. So the story, it's a story of 4 ages across 1,000 years. Now, to lift the curse on Princess Hyria of Herther, Elliot and Faye will cross through the doorway of time to visit different periods of history. They will travel from their own time, the age of safekeeping, further and further into the past, across every age. So the interesting thing about this is that it's very much set up like Chrono Trigger. For those who don't know, Chrono Trigger is a time-wielding adventure that kind of has you going from all the way from prehistoric era to the far future. It's actually pretty cool. And it looks like they're trying to invoke a little bit of that spirit here with The Adventures of Elliot. Now, these different times, Age of Safekeeping, which is the present. You also have Age of Reconstruction, which is the Dark Ages. You have the Age of Magic, the Golden Age, and the Age of Building, the birth of the civilization. So very interesting. Also, the Age of Reconstruction. So further into the past from Elliot's home, the Age of Safekeeping is the Age of Reconstruction. Amidst the ruins of a more prosperous time, humanity's remnants live on the brink of extinction. There is no spell of safekeeping in this age to repel the beastmen. Humans cling together in a village called Little Hope, eking out an existence with meager resources and defenses. Though most of the villagers have given into despair, one young man with a glimmer of hope in his heart looks to the future. So they go over different characters and different things and people that you interact with and everything. But I think that the biggest thing for me with this game is that the combat combined with what they're doing with some of the storytelling creates a very interesting proposition for an HD 2D game. Most HD 2D games that we've gotten before from Square Enix, they're usually turn-based. Octopath Traveler, you have Triangle Strategy, a lot of them are turn-based games. This is the first action RPG or action adventure game that we've gotten from the HD 2D engine, and I think that they do a pretty good job. Now, if you haven't played or know too much about this game, there is a demo. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox or PlayStation or PC, but I know for sure that it's on the Nintendo Switch 2. I did play and stream it a number of months ago when they first announced it, so I think it's even going to be better after the feedback that we gave them from it. I think that they're going to improve it just like they did with other games before. I know like Bravely Default and I know Octopath Traveler, the first one, they always do where they put out a demo and then they get feedback and then they make the final game even better. So I think that this game, even from what you play, is going to be significantly better once the game drops. So not everybody loves HD 2D, but this style to me is really cool. And Adventures of Elliot, the fact that they were able to put it into an action RPG and have so many different types of variety of weapons and have these different types of ages, I think it's going to create, once again, a very compelling RPG or adventure experience out there for people. There's little bits of elements of all their games. You have stuff from like Octopath or from Bravely Default. You have stuff from The Legend of Zelda. Like, it really feels like a variety of different games. So I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to play this game. I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. I wanted to go over some of the information from the different time periods, which some of you guys knew, but this game is just looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, here's the thing, guys. This summer, it's so packed. We've got Digimon, we've got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink on Nintendo Switch 2. We've got just so many different games that are coming out. I think the Tales of Arise, the Switch 2 version. So I'm really going to have to pick and choose what RPGs I spend my time in, because I am a completionist. I don't always complete everything 100%, but I always try to go for as much as I can in the first playthrough, so I don't have to replay games over and over to kind of get everything. I'm 190 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on the Switch 2, and I'm pretty much maxing out everything, and I'm getting all the different segment recons, and I'm trying to do everything that I can on this first playthrough of the game. So for me, I like to kind of just complete everything, so I don't have the time to always go through every single RPG that I want. So I have to pick and choose which ones that I'm really going to play. And the new RPGs, the games that come out day and date and that are new and have exciting things to them, I kind of favor those ones a bit more. Or of course, if it's a game that I'm really liking, or I really like Monolith Soft games, for example, with Xenoblade. So for me, the Adventures of Elliot kind of seems to be that game in a packed summer full of titles where we're going to be getting Digimon and so many other stuff. I do want to kind of prioritize the games that are new and that really play great on the Switch 2. So for me, at least, Digimon Story, Time Stranger, in addition to The Adventures of Elliot, these are the two games when it comes to RPGs coming in at 60 FPS, looking and running good and playing good, and not too much longer after the release from other platforms. So I'm going to prioritize those. The Adventures of Elliot, this game is looking awesome. June 18th. Once again, I think it looks great. What do you guys think about The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales? Is it a game that you plan on picking up? Now, I did say that there is one kind of like negative thing, or there's probably more negative once you actually play the game, and we'll talk about that once I actually play more of it. But there's no actual standard physical cart version. And the game keycard stuff, guys, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of them. I understand why some games have them. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade, Rebirth, I get that. Like, those games are massive, but this is the type of game that would sell great on the Nintendo Switch 2. There's no Switch 1 version, like where you can do like a free upgrade. So I feel that they should have had a standard cart version for this. I know they're maybe a little worried because it's a new IP within the HD 2D pantheon of games that they have, but I still feel that this game is going to do great on the Switch 2. Maybe they didn't feel confident about it because they didn't know where the sales were going to be, and they have to determine if there's going to be a cart or not well in advance, and I understand that. Like, if this was Octopath Traveler 3 or something like that, maybe they don't do that. Maybe they actually go physical on cart because they know that Octopath Traveler sells better when it comes to Nintendo platforms. So maybe they do that if it's like a big new Octopath Traveler, but at the same time, it still would have been nice if this was an actual physical game cart. But it is what it is on that one. I do plan on picking it up on the Nintendo Switch 2. HD 2D is exquisite in portable mode, so I'll brave the game keycard to be able to play it in good quality, 60 FPS, native on a hybrid system like the Switch 2, over having to use a PlayStation Portal and try to do something like that. I'm not a fan of that type of stuff. I don't like streaming. So for me, I'm going to pick it up on the Nintendo Switch 2. So what do you guys think when it comes to The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales? You guys planning on picking this one up? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the next topic. We're going to talk about Absolum. That is coming natively to the Nintendo Switch 2, and unlike The Adventures of Elliot, this one actually comes on a full game card, so definitely good stuff there. This is one of the better, I would say, not hidden gems, but one of the better games that kind of came out and people are like, wow, this is a lot better than maybe I thought it was going to be. So publisher Dotemu and developers Guard Crush Games and Supermonks will release the arcade-like beat-em-up game Absolum for Switch 2. The companies announced a release date was not announced, but it is coming sometime in Q3 2026. Now the game is already available on the Nintendo Switch 1. It's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on PC, but now it's coming over to the Nintendo Switch 2. So Silver Lining Interactive, which has already released the PlayStation 5 and Switch physical editions, will also release a Switch 2 physical edition with the full game on the game card in Q3 2026. Pre-orders are now available via the Silver Lining Direct for $50 if you want that. Now here's a little bit of an overview of the game. So magic has been banned, but the resistance does rise. Defy Sun King Azra and his ruthless Crimson Order. Master the arts of combat, unlock powerful magical abilities, and team up with friends in co-op to restore magic to the world of Talma. Absolum blends arcade-like melee combat with spells, counters, and upgradable abilities. Choose from 4 uniquely powerful fighters and embark on a grand, high-stakes quest across beautifully handcrafted stages. With its fast-paced beat-em-up action and endless rogue-like replayability, Absolum challenges you with multiple paths to explore and unpredictable encounters for a new experience each time you play. So, awesome stuff for people that love the rogue style of games. Now, I'm not the biggest rogue fan at all. I'll be completely honest here, guys. I'm just not the biggest rogue style of fan. I'm not a huge fan of just having to replay so many different times and things to do stuff to see everything. I don't like it as much. I do play Hades and I think that's cool, but I've heard so many good things, and this game has a good review score as well, so people really do like Absolum. They feel that it's a great game with a lot of combat options, with a lot of different stuff that you can do, and it's fun. At the end of the day, it's fun. It's got a great art style, super good action, good response timing. The combat feels slick and responsive, and I think that's what's important when it comes to a game. Responsive and slick and nice to play, lots of variety. That's the type of stuff that makes games great. So Absolum definitely delivers that in spades. So it's coming over Q3. Check out the website, Silver Lining Direct, if you want to get that. $50 for the Switch 2 version, fully on cart. So definitely the more on cart games, the better. But there's a nice charge up from the digital edition of the game. You're definitely paying for that full cart, paying $50 for this type of game. So what do you guys think when it comes to Absolum on the Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the next topic here. We've got another Eden, a time-traveling, turn-based RPG, which definitely takes a lot of inspiration once again from Chrono Trigger. I think there's actually some of the people that maybe even worked on it when it comes to that. So time-traveling, turn-based RPG, another Eden Begins, will launch for the Switch 2, Switch, and PC via Steam on September 17th. Publisher WFS and developer studio Prisma announced. Another Eden continues to be an extraordinary journey, and Another Eden Begins offers a new way to experience that world with enhanced visuals and English voiceovers, said Studio Prisma head, I cannot say his name, in a press release. Working with Masato Kaito is always a pleasure as we prepare the world for yet another emotional tale across time and space. So a bit more about this game. You can witness the stars align on Nintendo Switch consoles and PC via Steam as an epic tale beyond time and space unfolds, brought to life by veteran director Masato Kaito, Chrono Trigger, and Xenogears. Wow, that's some good company right there. He worked on both of those in Studio Prisma, and featuring stunning tracks by renowned game composer Yasunori Mitsuda from Xenogears, Chrono Cross, even some Xenoblade stuff too as well as folk-inspired orchestral by Procyon Studio, where Mitsuda also serves as a composer. Cross the boundaries of the cosmos as Aldo on a quest to save his sister Finning from the clutches of evil. Cross timeless paths, forging deep connections with over 18 memorable companions. Complete ally quests to deepen your relationship and unlock special kinship quests. The epic narrative features full English voiceover in the main story from the returning ensemble of Another Eden, The Cat Beyond Time and Space, the multiverse time-traveling JRPG that has brought timeless tales and epic battles to millions of players since 2017. Strategically command a party built around character roles and strategies to confront formidable creatures in fast-paced turn-based battles. Activate another force to unleash a slew of devastating attacks and turn the tide of battle. Be it in the past, present, or future, expect endless possibilities with the new Game Plus mode. With your existing experience, progression, and gear in tow, prepare to cross time once again with a mysterious new character in search of 10 new and unforgettable endings. So definitely set up like Chrono Trigger, where New Game Plus was big in that game, carrying over everything, trying to find all the different endings, all the different abilities and stuff that you can do. So I definitely like that. The only issue that I have with this game is the art style. Outside of that, it looks awesome. Like, everything's set up kind of like Chrono Trigger. That's my favorite game of all time, and I think that this game looks really cool. The battles look great. I think that there's so much good stuff about it. I'm just not a fan of that, like, doll-like or weird, like, mobile style of art style. I just wish that they used, like, pixel art. I think that pixel art would have just been way better for this instead of this art. And like I said, that's like the only thing where I'm just like, man, I really wish that they use pixel art, because I think it would have been so much better in that type of way. Now, maybe this art is easier to do. I don't know if there's anybody who does like the animations or anybody that does art. You guys can let me know which one's easier. This does seem like this would be easier to do than like hand-drawn like pixel art and all of that, so I wish that they did it, but I still think that it's going to be a great game. From the combat, from the trailer that they showed off here, the release date trailer, it looks like it's going to be awesome, especially if you love Chrono Trigger. So I'm going to see if I can stomach it and just play. But I mean, man, the art style just, to me, just reminds me of like the mobile stuff, and this is not supposed to be like a mobile game. It's supposed to be like, I know that it's kind of like a mobile game, but it's not supposed to be that way, you know? So for me, I kind of feel like it should be more like a console type, old school experience type of game. So I wish they would have went with that, but hey, it is what it is. So I'll check it out, I'll see how it is, and I'll see if I can kind of go through it, even though it doesn't have my favorite art style in there when it comes to this type of game. So what do you guys think when it comes to everything we talked about here? A lot of awesome games. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, peeps, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.